Alright, people. So, I'm not a big guy. I'm not a big person who just, when there's a big news that comes out, just, repeats like a news article or something. I like to expound on the news and make talking points out of it. But, unfortunately, Jake the Snake Robber, and I will do that in this video. I will expound on, stuff that I could talk about from this thing. But Jake the Snake Roberts, uh, has reportedly been hospitalized with double pneumonia, I guess. I don't know what the difference between pneumonia and double pneumonia is. Maybe it has to do with the lungs because you have your two lungs. I know pneumonia has to do with the lungs. I believe it does. So maybe it means like two lungs. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but it must be worse than regular pneumonia. But I had a grandpa that died from pneumonia. He was like 72 or 73, early 70s. Um, he was a smoker too, so that contributed to it. And like it was sad though seeing him because he could barely walk. Um, he had the air tank. I always was over his house and hung out with him. I loved him to death and everything, but he was always hacking up, coughing. He had the big air tank and everything, and I just wish I would have had been able to spend more time with him because I was pretty young when he died. I believe fourth grade or something like that, and it's very sad when you know you lose somebody like that. It's always an unfortunate event. And seeing him with the tank and everything, and he could barely even walk without getting exhausted or tired. Like he would try to come out to watch me play baseball and everything, but he couldn't walk that far. Um, I didn't really understand it as much at the time, but thinking about it now, it's so sad seeing people like that. He also fought in World War II. I don't mean to get off topic here, but just something related to the subject, I guess. Something about my personal life, but no, it's very sad, seeing people like that, who die, who are suffering like that. Like Jake the Snake went through many years of drug abuse, and thank God we have great people like DDP in this world who probably saved Jake the Snake Roberts' life. He probably would be dead right now if it wasn't for DDP. At least that's what I hear. And but it is unfortunate though that you know Jake the Snake falls into this life of drugs, and probably depression. And like when WWE, when a guy, when they split ways, WWE, from my understanding, I mean they do a little, but like in Jake the Snake's case, I haven't heard of one thing WWE has done to help Jake the Snake with his drug problem. I mean, that's the thing, WWE takes him in, they use the guys, they wear them down, they beat them up, and when they're old and rusty and they can't, it's like, I believe Stone Cold made the analogy of like gears, you know, once the gear becomes old and rusty, they take it out, throw it to the side, and put in a new fresh one, and they don't care really. I mean, maybe they'll help somebody out for PR purposes, but for Vince, a lot of it's just about the money, and he doesn't care about people who have left the company. The class act to do is as a billionaire or a multi-hundred dollar, hundreds of millions of dollars he had, whatever. He's not a billionaire anymore, but you can't spare some of that money. You're too greedy and you have too much of a big ego to help out your past wrestlers who have given much of their lives, literally, you know lives, years have been shut off their lives for your company. You can't help them out with their issues or their depression or their problems. That's just selfish and egotistical right there. And like, seriously though, like he's got millions of fucking dollars. It's just, why wouldn't you help out your friends or your former employees who have, it's just stupid from Vince not to, like, I can understand if you're, struggling, like a business is struggling, and it's a smaller business. But Vince McMahon's got a ton of money, and it's just sad. And hopefully he'll be okay. Um, Usually they say, like, oh, he'll be okay, or like I think JR was hospitalized and Scott Hall too, and they said, they're just doing some tests on me. I'll probably be okay. This seems pretty serious, but he's in the hospital. I hear I think they say he's going in and out of consciousness too. But it just fucking sucks though. I mean, Jake's, I don't even think he's that old. And, if he dies young, I mean, that'd just be a tragedy. Whenever somebody dies, it's a tragedy. But, hopefully he'll be okay. And, that's pretty much all I got to say about it. I mean, when I saw it, I was saddened, obviously, to hear about this. It's always sad to lose a life, and especially somebody for the family, or and to lose them prematurely, like at such an early age, just adds to the sadness. But again, hopefully he will be okay. Hopefully he will recover from this pneumonia or double pneumonia, whatever it is. But I'm sure this is a result of his drug use or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about it. Just wanted to, express my thoughts on this, and basically the main point coming out of this, is Vince McMahon. Like when Scott Hall was in the hospital, Vince they didn't even acknowledge it on their WWE website or anything. I don't believe. Like when Viscera died, they hardly acknowledged it. They made such a bigger deal from the Warrior dying because it's more profitable. So yeah, I mean, like it tends to be where, like, I made a video about this some months back. If you're high up in the company, you'll get a big tribute, but if you were lower in the company, you hardly will get a tribute at all, and that's a shame. Like, these people have they've given years of their lives for Vince McMahon's money. Vince McMahon can at least take a little bit of that money and give it back and help them, with their personal lives. If they're struggling financially, if they're struggling with drug use, if they're struggling with alcoholism, anything, Vince McMahon should help them out. And I'm not saying he should be required by law to, just from a good moral standpoint. Having morals, having a good soul, and just being a good person should help these people out. So that's basically my thoughts on this video. I mean, I don't know how you could be against me on that. I mean, seriously, like, Jake the Snake Roberts I saw they were trying to raise, like, some money for his leg injury. Why doesn't just WWE give him some? I mean, seriously, why doesn't WWE just contribute some money to, have these guys get injuries which were caused in the first place by them giving their bodies and putting their bodies on the line for Vince McMahon's fucking company and money? So why can't Vince give some of that back? So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on Jake the Snake being hospitalized. And yeah, I hope he gets better, and please don't die, Jake. I don't want to see another wrestler pass away. It's always sad, and hopefully he will get better and live a long, life, and recover from. I know he's been doing good on the drug thing, not doing drugs. Hopefully he's good from this and will live a longer and happy, stress-free life. So there you go, people.